You know, I had an idea, boys and girls, about instead of doing zombie logs because of sleep deprivation and stuff, grief logs. Of course, I've been writing about those. Of course, I've been doing stuff about those. I've been trying to educate. I've been trying to elucidate. I'm trying to put stuff into words that people can try understanding. I'd seen it online on social media, even recently. People have been losing loved ones left and right. They need some place to express their outrage, their pain, their grief. They're not quite sure what the hell to do. Well, I know the shrinks are there with the 5 or 7 things to say concerning about what grief is all about. Shall we say something about that? Since I'm still going through the same damn stuff myself. I think I enjoyed it. Yeah, right. Everyone else thinks their own. Some people online are trying to act like they're experts of it, and I know my ego gets well in the way of that. It does. Okay, I'm going to put in here stages of grief. Now they can't even make up their minds when it comes down for searches on these things because we got 5 or 7 stages of it, or is it 4 stages of it? They can't even make up their minds. So let us see what Google says for that one, shall we? The first stage is usually, well, there's some people who keep screwing that damn thing up. Okay. I have said it before in too many of my videos, and I'm going to keep saying it again. Excuse me a second. I haven't had my hair cut since my brother died. That was about 2018. I'm well overdue it. But as I understand concerning about and I figure it's about 7 stages. The shock. It's always the shock wave. You've heard of shock and awe. Well, guess what? We got the shock and now we're awed. We're awed about the after effects. We're awed about what death means, really. We're awed about what the hell we're going to do at this point over here because we are just losing our brains. We are awed that we have a life that's totally shattered beyond compare. We just got through a situation where we lost a loved one that that is the most precious thing in our universe. And it's like your hand or someone's hand going into your chest and ripping out your damn heart, tossing it aside, or tossing it in the air, and then somebody catches it upstairs, and your loved ones are already gone, but you still have this hole, this pain, this grief. But you're numb because the brain cannot function at this point. Okay? Some people have a better mental discipline. They have better discipline when it comes down for things like this because we have to figure out what we're going to do in our lives. We're going to have to figure out if we're going to be going insane or if we're going to be focusing more on what needs to be taken care of. If we're in different professions that deal with the public on a day-by-day basis and you're in a life or death situation, you just lost your loved one, but you still have to function. You try to put yourself into an automatic mode where You have to shove the pain aside, and you still have to function. You still have to live, because life is not fair at this point over here. You just lost your loved one. In combat, it's one thing because I don't know what combat is. I'm a civilian, never been in the military. Been medically forever since the day I was born out of my mother's womb. 4 years old, heart surgery, screwed up everything concerning about getting into the military for service. So I don't know what military PTSD is like. But civilian PTSD is a different thing altogether. We go through it all the damn time. We're told to shove our pain aside and deal with it, because we still have to deal with what's shoving in front of our face, which is life saying, "I've got this issue and you're going to do this for me." In my situation, when I lost my mother, I was a caregiver for her for the last several years of her life. Me and my brother, or me and my big brother. Him I lost in 2018. But prior to that, in 2013, we're going through an eviction situation. I have an apartment. We lived for 5 years. I've already had a tire try to kill. I've already had a workers' comp accident tried to kill me already. So I've already got PTSD on top of that stuff. I got PTSD from long ago that's still affecting me these days. But, it's still in the past. It's funny how the past can affect a person in the future. After I lose Ma and my brother and I finally find a place to live, we thought we could get past the pain. We thought we could get past the feelings of loss, of hopelessness, of anxiety, of anguish by getting involved in different things. We wanted to lie and we wanted to hide. We wanted to shove that stuff so much, and we couldn't even do that to ourselves. And we ran into situations where things that we could do to memorialize our mother kind of failed to do because we didn't take into account we still had to grieve. My brother and I had decided to go into college. We were going to learn stuff. My brother must have been on a hell of a lot of stress during that time because he had to have a heart attack during it. He couldn't go back to school. He had to stay here under a roof and just not do a damn thing. Of course, makes him open season for Nigerian scam artists, which screws him over and screws me over at the same damn time. I'm also trying to take care of him. We get evicted out of our trailer home. We get homeless. We get an apartment. A lot of changes right there. And the fun part is trying to take care of him for the last 5 years of his life. And he was still making my life a little bit miserable because of his involvement with this Nigerian scam. Someone claimed they loved my brother and didn't. They just want money, 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 money every month. Which got my brother so much hot water, and me too. In different ways. It's just coming and coming and coming. Next thing I know, I'm still trying to get disability because of the workers' comp situation. It finally comes. But my brother's health is deteriorating at this point over here. What more stress added to me is I've already completed maybe a few years of education in a system that I never thought I could get through. And I'll tell you one thing. When the year that my brother and I were still trying to deal with our mother's death, the first year, still in the shock and still in the denial of it, but We couldn't deny it because we still had her ashes. I made a video. I made a video. A tribute to her. A lot of pictures. And a few artists that I can never listen to again. Anyway. And listening to what's happening outside. Life. I can't listen to those artists. And after I made the video, I watched it with David. He says it was very good. Don't show it to me ever again. Because he had a hard time trying to deal with the grief himself. He could not reconcile it. He was having a hard time. There had to have been times when my brother couldn't be the strong man ever again because of Ma's passing. Ma and David were very close. My brother was firstborn. I'm the runt. Didn't matter. He's still having a hard time dealing with him. One day he strokes out. Strokes started to affect him left and right, and before I know it, he's passing. He's dying on me, and I don't even realize it. He's trying to get my help one morning, February 8th, 2018. He can't breathe. He can't even talk, but he can't breathe. He just says a few words. I can't breathe. I'm calling 911 automatically on a phone, trying to see if he's turning blue. I'm about to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation if I had to, but he was still alive. But he was still having problems breathing. I figured, I don't know what's going on, but I'm hoping we'll go over to the ER. They'll be able to fix it somehow. Either he gets admitted in there for maybe about a day or two and comes back home, or he just gets out of there at the ER. But I didn't realize that the third option was he was going to die in an ambulance ride to the hospital. And he gets wheeled into the ER as a slab of beef with things sticking out of him. And at that stage, I knew my world destroyed, gone. Just like when Ma died, the brothers had to survive. They had to live on. I kept asking myself, what the hell am I going to do now? How the hell am I going to live and survive on? And at first, I can tell you that every time I've read posts on Facebook and those grieving pages and those grieving groups, they're the same like me. Maybe they still had some support, or maybe they've shoved it away, or the support shoved them away for whatever reason. But they all felt exactly the same thing: bewildered, terrified, clueless, and in pain. But they haven't dealt with the pain. They're just dealing with the shockwave. They haven't dealt with the constant. They're just dealing with the shockwave, the shock and awe, boom. And it takes a while just to get through that damn thing. I sometimes am still having a hard time through that. Even though he's been dead 3 years. Of course, you got anger and bargaining. Here's the thing. I've also heard that you don't go through it all the time. You can skip stages because you also have depression, loneliness, and reflection. And you have anger and bargaining. The negative stage is that you have to get through first. And I'm still stuck. My brother probably would call me stuck and stupid, but at this point, this is what happens. And this is how many people I've seen and read that they are still stuck on that. When you're a lot younger, you have no perception in context of losing someone except when they're no longer there and you don't understand why. And being through that as a kid and as an adult, I keep asking myself, where's my sympathy and my empathy at this point? Because I can feel for the other schmuck, for the other person trying to go through this thing, and they're having a hard time dealing with it. They don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to talk to other people about it or how to communicate their feelings or thoughts. So I suggest you write it, you audio record it, you video. You want to get it down, get it down. Make it a habit. I've been making mine too much of an addiction or a habit at this point over here because you know how many videos I've been doing on myself. And it's only on me. It's not like I'm focusing on a specific named person here or another named person. This is all about me going through this stuff. I feel the emotions because I'm going through it myself. I understand their mentality because I've been there myself and I'm still going through it. They may call it peer to peer. I just take it one survivor to another survivor or one schmuck to another schmuck. You're feeling it. I know you're feeling it. You're going through the pain. You know about the triggers that gets to you. And sometimes you can't see them coming. Neither do I. And it always leaves you depressed at the end. Or you don't care for the next 3 or 4 or 5 days. You don't feel it. You don't want to feel it. You want to get rid of it. You want it to feel happy, joyous. You want to dance around. You don't want to deal with the knowledge that you just lost someone very significant in your family or in your life. You still want to deny it or have other people deny it. Or worse. See, I walked it. I'm still walking it. I've been walking ever since I was a young kid. How many aunts and uncles and cousins have you lost in your lifetime or friends? Growing up from a young kid all the way to your age. It's got to be more than a handful. It's got to be more than what you got here. And sometimes you weren't able to grieve as much because you still had to deal with life on life's terms. You had to deal with possibly funeral arrangements, cremation, memorial services. I know it's worse when you're talking about people in different types of services and they go through loss and they're overwhelmed by the whole thing. And I don't know what it's that. I don't know what it's that. I can't imagine. I haven't been there. I don't have the context and perspective to put myself into there to really understand it. But you know, they're also saying that once you've acknowledged all these things, and it's not easy, that somehow you're able to get into the recovery stage, they call it. The recovery stage would be the upward turn, the aha moment, the reconstruction and acceptance and hope. We all want that. But the thing of it is, we still want our loved one back. And if we already cremated him, I guess there's no way of getting a live body out of an ash. At least not yet, anyway. So, am I willing to accept that my brother's been gone and dead a long time ago? And the thing is, yeah, I already accepted it because when I started receiving their ashes, that's the proof that I know they're gone. But the problem is, they're not gone in here and they're not gone in here. Because I still get the triggers and I still get landlight. I still cry like a son of a bitch because I got pain left and right. And sometimes I may or may not even relate to my brother and my mother. I may not even relate to them. It may be related to something totally different. But it still opened up the floodgates inside of me. I've been trying to do videos left and right to try to describe this to different people and how it may or may not be perceived. Because these things are important to understand. When you're grieving, some people try to put on the best face possible and try to laugh their way through it. They avoid me like the plague because I'm a miserable son of a bitch. Because I don't find any laughter just yet. I haven't gotten to the point of enjoyment of life yet. I'm buried. I have no support. But I'm supposed to deal with it myself, alone. And yet that's what I'm expected to do. That's what life expects me to do, is deal with it alone. And I know when I'm trying to do it alone, my body suffers. I get headaches. I get sleep issues constantly. Lack of attention skills. Or else what they call them, can't remember shit. Some days when I'm actually functioning well, I can try functioning well to discuss things with people. Like I'm trying to do right now. And it may seem like it's an impossible thing. But this is me trying to talk to people left and right of how I'm going through things. Yes, I have people around me who are like extended family, and they got their own issues, and they deal with their own issues, and I don't hear from them until God knows how long. And I survive with what I've got. I survive with what I have, and dealing with what I've got. And sometimes it's overwhelming. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have a service come out here to take a look at my damn apartment and clean the damn place up for me. But I know it's going to be shelling out a hell of a lot of money. If I had the money for it, I would. Because I also need to have money to pay off the damn bills and pay off rent, which is always taken care of first every month. Despite the fact I feel like a damn uh, a person going through a hell of a lot of grief and stuff, I still have to consider realities such as paying rent first. Get that done. Despite the fact I'm dealing with crazy neighbors outside driving me nuts. Excuse me one quick second. Well, you didn't expect me to blast into your ears with that sneeze, did you? Well, thank you. Anyway, I had to get this off my chest. I had to talk to people about this thing. I had to talk to you about this. Maybe me I'm talking to, who knows? Or somebody else in the future, or someone else. Whatever it is, these videos are my memories. These videos are the things I'm going through at this point over here. Now, I've heard too many people complaining in the past about nobody listens to them and they always put things in a private diary that nobody else reads. And they always wonder how come people don't know what's going on with them. Well, because they're too damn embarrassed and too damn scared and they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't want to be embarrassed about what's going on. It's embarrassing to put your dirty laundry out there. But you know what? Screw it. If I'm going to die, at least I know my dirty laundry's out there for prosperity. People can learn about what's going on in my life. People can learn and understand what I'm doing. This is basically in case I get killed somehow, or my life terminates one way or another, that I will live on a little bit and I will explain things why things happened. Each day, or some days in the week, if I'm able to, I'll put out a video or two or three just to tell people how I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what I'm going through. And the thing is, I would encourage someone to do that as well. They hurt so much, they have memories to share, but they don't know how to share them. Well, you got a cell phone? Put a voice recorder on it. Get yourself a voice recording app. Put it on the damn phone. Click on the record and talk. Just talk. Don't do anything. Just talk. That's all you do. It's just talk. And talk and talk and talk. Talk until you're out of oxygen. Talk until you're out of ideas. Talk. Period. Get it off your chest. Either short logs or long logs, depends. If you're a guy who likes camera, and I'm trying to get used to the camera's idea, by the way. Put yourself in front of a camera. A laptop or two, or any other kind of functioning cameras. Even a damn cell phone camera would work. You know? But the damn thing, like, put it over here, and your image may be reversed. And if you have it tilted, and you hit the record button, you said, "Hi." Well, that'll break the ice right there. But then after you have your recordings, are you going to be planning on doing a podcast maybe down the road? Save all your recordings. Because eventually you may or may not do a podcast. I don't know. I don't know how to do a podcast. But if I do, I got material. And if I'm going to be doing a video log, this is how my YouTube is. It's my vlog. So I'm telling people what's going on with me. I'm telling people how I'm dealing, how I'm functioning. And sometimes I'm having a hard time, and the other days I'm having a not so hard time. I've already had a few triggers already knocking my ass out already, but I haven't yet cried yet. It's not because I'm strong, it's because it's probably waiting for the chance for me to break down, and then I'll break it down. And then I'll tell you something. Let me tell you a short story before I end this one. We had the 9/11 attacks happened a long time ago. And I was working at a company in Warner Center, San Fernando Valley. It was about 15-story. Not much. We had about 20, 25 stories out in San Fernando Valley at the end. In different sections of the valley, in different business areas. We have tall skyscrapers, a little bit. But when the 9/11 hit, on that day, I felt terrified. I couldn't deal, I couldn't cope, I was going out of control, writing stuff that scared the hell out of people, that there was an executive secretary decided to take it upon herself, or she got ordered, and see what the hell was going on with me. Took me aside and tried to break me down. Didn't exactly help very much. I mean, I did give her a tear or two, but I was still in shock, and I was still in fear, and I was still running mad. I was still angry. Didn't know who to be angry at. I felt terrified because we got attacked, and they said there was airplanes running into buildings, and I thought we were next. It terrified the living crap out of me. How the hell was I supposed to process this shit? But I'm supposed to cry through this damn thing? But just to satisfy her, yeah, I did. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be able to get out of the damn room. pain in the ass. The guy's going through PTSD and through shock right now, and you want him to cry. Holy moly. It's like, John, you should have gone home. You should have just gone home. But they did send us back home. Eventually. I mean, I got home and I'm just, because there's no way to deal with that kind of a shock. I didn't lose anybody. I just saw people lost their lives. And I guess the grieving process was starting up during that time. Because I guess I did eventually cry over this. And cry and cry and cry. But in a shock and denial, your adrenaline is going so damn badly, it's running on overload. There's no way to get a good cry out of this damn thing, because you're not emotionally and physically broken yet. You're in fight or flight mode, and that's how I was thinking. I was also a hell of a lot younger too. Didn't help much. So now, some things to think about. I may continue to keep talking and talking and talking until I get tired of this damn thing. And then I'll probably see one commercial that'll put me out. And I may have to find copyright information to put into my notes, because in order for me to be broken, I need to have a trigger. I need to have a trigger. Now, if you happen to put in, this is going to be off of YouTube, but if you happen to put in a Kia, and this is Kia America. Okay, hold on. And they're talking about the all-electric Kia EV6, and the slash Robotdog. Okay. So this is on YouTube. This is copyrighted material. I got to put this in my notes. They're using a copyrighted music over here saying "Turn Around" back in the 1980s. I listened to this music like crazy. But this, is that a face or is that a face? The more the commercial played, the more it's triggered me, because of how much I feel for this dog. How I want this dog in my life. When I'm watching this whole thing going on, I mean, they do a 30-minute sketch in the damn thing, but they also have a minute in here too. So I'm going to turn off the sound on this thing, because this is going to tear me apart. Okay, this is the Kia commercial, okay? I gotta put that link into mine. This dog is getting to me. This is like my body and my soul and everything else is going through analogy. While the music is going on, even the visualization of this is driving me nuts. To where the dog is going to do something incredibly stupid. So yes, it's over a minute. It's coming close to it. And here it is. The music that they have on this one is from a song I listened to back in the 80s. Turn around. It never affected me so much. But you hooked up with this particular commercial here? I'm seeing this dog, even in the other commercials, but this is not dealing with Ma or Dave. And I've lost a lot of pets in my lifetime. And this is one of those things that's causing this effect right now. Because it's so, I know I'm going to say emotional at this point over here because I don't know the right words to say it. Because I'm still torn up at this point. And I do want to cry. Because I'm seeing a dog. I'm a dog lover. I loved a lot of dogs. And seeing that one is just, okay, that's it. I gotta turn this damn thing off.